Hey y'all, Brian here from Deckard & Company, and in today's video, or this week's video, we're going to talk about 3 more metrics that you should check out every time you're looking at your website's analytics. So whatever platform you're using, whether it be Google Analytics, SEMrush, Moz, whatever it may be, these 3 metrics you should also be paying attention to. And also check out last week's video for the 3 metrics that we talked about last week. So let's get into it. We're going to talk about this week: bounce rate, views per session, and session duration. So first one we're going to talk about is the most difficult to explain because you know, the way some platforms do bounce rate compared to, say, Google Analytics, which has a very complicated way they do bounce rate. But this is pretty much bounce rate in a nutshell. So a bounce rate is when someone leaves your website after viewing only that one page. So that means your bounce rate is a percentage of sessions with only one view, one page view. For instance, if your bounce rate was 65%, that would mean that 65% of your sessions only included one page view. So let's dive just a little bit deeper. Okay, so imagine a visitor lands on your homepage and then reads, say, 2 articles or goes to a couple of your services or products or whatever. You know, this visitor did not qualify as a bounce because they viewed multiple pages. And this would make your bounce rate 0%. Yeah, we could only wish, right? Okay, imagine this. So now a second visitor arrives on your homepage and then leaves without viewing any other pages. This would qualify as a bounce, and your bounce rate would increase to 50% because half of the visitors left after only viewing one page. Now, what does that mean? It just means that out of my little scenario here, we had 2 visitors, right? The first visitor visited multiple pages. Second visitor, only 1. So more than likely, say they landed on your site and they immediately figured, oh, this is not what I'm looking for, and they hit the back button, so they didn't go any further. So that would register as a bounce. So that is a bounce rate. We're going to talk a little more about bounce rates in a future video coming up pretty soon, because bounce rate is pretty crazy when it comes to how certain platforms calculate them. But what you should also know about a bounce rate is pretty important. So we'll get into that in a future video coming up. So let's talk about views per session. So the views per session metric tells you how many pages your visitors look at on average when they visit your site. For example, if your views per session is, say, a 2.15, that means when someone visits your site, they usually look at about 2 pages. So that's kind of what a views per session. And then session duration is simply, a session duration is the average length of time visitor spends on your website in a single session. Yep, if the session duration is, say, 1:35, this just simply means that visitors are spending about 1.5 minutes on your site while they visit. So there you go. So there's the 3 next metrics that we wanted to touch base on this week, because when you put all those together, those 6 that we've talked about now, this gives you a great idea of how your website's performing. Are people, when they visit your site, are they getting the information that you want, that they need? And if not, how do you fix it? So yeah, all right. So upcoming videos, we're going to talk about all that good stuff. So with that being said, you guys have a brilliant, wonderful rest of your day, And there you go. Google Analytics, website analytics, Moz Analytics, SEMrush Analytics, whatever you use. Check those metrics out. Thanks so much. Bye now.